Oh, Hi, my name is Rob Fitzpatrick. I've been running tech startups for about 10 years now, and no one ever told me that startups were an option. I went to university, I learned how to program, and you could learn any skill. It doesn't have to be programming, it could be design, marketing, talking to people, whatever. But you learn one of these skills, and people say, do you want this job or this job? And so, my first and biggest piece of advice for you is that you don't have to get a job. You're allowed to start your own company. Uh, and it's not as risky as you think. And this is my second piece of advice. People say, oh, starting a business, isn't that very expensive? Isn't it risky? Well, no, it depends on the type of business. If you want to start a restaurant, that's pretty expensive and pretty risky because you need to get a location and hire a bunch of waiters and chefs and buy food, and all that stuff costs money. But other types of businesses don't cost nearly as much, so they're very easy to start, even if you're a young person. Um, there's a million different ideas that you could choose, and you've got the option. Don't just choose the first idea you fall in love with. You know, like imagine if you had to marry the first person you dated. It would be very difficult, right? You'd have a difficult marriage. We date lots of people and we choose one to marry. You should be the same with ideas. And this is my third and probably biggest piece of advice. If you're interested at all in any sort of entrepreneurship, if one day you want to have your own company and work for yourself, what you need to do immediately is start working on side projects, hobby projects, things you do for fun with other people. And a couple things are important about this. If you have a hobby, if you just play guitar for yourself, that's unlikely to turn into a business. What's important about side projects is you work with other people and you launch them, you release them to the world. By working with other people, you figure out, are these the people I'd like to start a business with? Are they potential co-founders? If you just get into the habit of when you finish something, you go, hey world, look what I made. Suddenly you're learning marketing, you're learning communication, you're getting over these fears people have. And suddenly you might be surprised, sometimes what you did is a fun project, it actually turns out to be pretty successful. People like it. 500, 5,000, 50,000. And suddenly you go, whoa, I don't need to start a business from scratch. I can take my side project and just figure out a way to make money with it. And that's a lot easier. So that's kind of what I think. People, sorry for the honking. People think the business is very scary and you can't do it till you're older, until you're rich. And it's just not true. You can't do every business now. Like you can't start a restaurant. But there's lots of businesses you can do. And the way they start is with side projects, with hobby projects. So figure out what interests you and find a few hours a week and invest it in yourself. Other people might have riches and money and networks and blah, blah, blah. But what you have as a young person is time, skills, passion. So use them, start investing them in yourself, and you'll be surprised what it turns into. And yeah, I wish you luck with your future businesses.